She says she does glam every single day of her life, even when she's not filming.
But
do you
that's
believe
the
that?
funny. Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
Hey, you guys. Welcome to Overanalyze with Dom and Kyla. All right, so you guys, today we are talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake
City. I always can never understand that. You're good at knowing what episode is what, like the number.
Yes.
Season 6, episode
13. Look at that. To begin, I've only watched the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Their girls' trips were very different.
Yeah.
So the one that jumped out at me was like the South Carolina trip when Kenya didn't feed everyone and she ordered the crab cake for herself.
I remember that, yeah.
But then also, I think that was also the Bolo trip, which became a huge deal.
Yeah. That was Cynthia's bachelorette.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I remember when they did go to Greece, and that was when Nene came back. So this was Angie's trip to Greece. Is Angie included in planning it?
So I remember the days when there were no cash trips. Or the cash trip would be like, the Real Housewives of Orange County would go to Sacramento. Like,
okay.
Sacramento! And now it became like a thing where they would travel to exotic destinations. There's a few, like, Salt Lake was delayed to the game of having these, like, cool locations. Like, Real Housewives of Orange County went to Iceland. They went to Germany this past year. Same thing with, like, Beverly Hills. Goes to all these exotic locations. And when I say exotic, I just mean, like, beautiful, not like...
Yeah.
The Real Housewives of New York, season after season, would go to Mexico. It's like, okay, cool, like, but we've been there already. Like, do something different. So it's really interesting, but typically it's someone's trip. Granted, of course, she helped plan it, but so you know who's putting the bill to it. And
I wonder if that's some of why the trip started to get more extravagant, right? As they get more money, as the cast and the show grows and gets more and more popular.
And it's more, let's be honest, it's more interesting. Like, I will tell you this, watching this episode, there was a scene where they went it was when they went shopping.
While Lisa was still getting glam.
Yeah. But that's cute. It was like 10, 15 seconds. I think it was Angie, Heather, Brittany, and Whitney. And there was like, and they were looking out at the beautiful scenery. Gorgeous. And I almost started crying. And I have no idea why. I think because Heather cried. And I literally sat there and I went, I want to go here on my honeymoon.
It was beautiful.
Specifically Santorini.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I always wanted to go to Greece, but for some reason, like the shots.
Yeah. I've had a couple of friends that have been there before and they did say it's
Greece.
Beautiful. They say the food is really, really
good. Yeah, my
good.
best friend just went to Greece, said the same thing.
I want to go and I think I want to have dinner on the cliff and look at all of that. And then I also...
I love that.
Just want my hotel to be there so I can be sitting in the window. Like,
it's one of those. I almost feel like I'd want to go.
You got to be for at least 10 days.
Oh, yeah. I want to spend at least a day, maybe even 2, where I have the most beautiful view and I just want to stay in my hotel room.
And just enjoy it.
And wear like loungewear, go in my bed, look out, go on the balcony, maybe eat lunch, go back and like not do anything other than to stay in my room.
Just take it all in.
Just to take it all in. I almost got teary-eyed. I'm like, I want to go here.
I really like their reactions. Yeah.
Or anyone's interest.
But I like their reactions because big time reality TV stars, haven't you seen it all? And then they're like, oh, it's so beautiful. And you're just like, wow, they are
Wasn't there
people.
A few
They're just like us.
Said, I think Heather said she's never been to Greece.
And she said she's always wanted to go too.
So I love that aspect of like, again, and I've been talking a lot about Heather. And this episode maybe does validate how much I do love Heather Gay.
I know.
A lot of people don't seem to like her as much anymore or at all. Listen, Bravo fans are something else. Because you go to BravoCon and you see it, we're all like a community, but at the same time, I was like on like X looking at Bravo content creators, like just dogging certain like even Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I thought you meant like ecstasy. I was like, what?
I was not on that. And it's just very interesting, the dichotomy of like fans where... You know, there's been a whole conversation of like, not to go into a whole different topic, but that like the network listening to fans' opinions and then the show gets shitty and then they go back, but then the fans are mad about that. Yeah. Like it's never a win-win, or there's almost like no like rationale behind like, I hate this bitch, like fuck them. And it's just like I was listening to a few people who like said the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 15, episode 1, they're like, it was horrible. We miss Garcelle, all this stuff. And I'm like, it's been an episode. You're judging the whole thing on one episode, which is an introductory episode. Give me a fucking break. Like, chill out.
But you and I, even though we love to overanalyze, we are
within
also
reason
rational people, and we can say, I don't care for that character, but she's good for the show.
Exactly.
And I don't think other people say that. Other people are like, I don't like them, just take them off now.
Exactly.
And it's like,
it's 100%. It's very rash. And I mean, I guess one could argue, I'm like, you're really going to try to rationalize Real Housewives. And I don't think it's that. It's like my mind works in rational ways. I can spot like ridiculousness out of nowhere. But in the sense of like judging the episodes or the season, I'm like, you all need to take a chill pill. Because here's the thing, the ones that you want to complain about, you take them away and then they're going to argue, bring them back. The show is horrible. So we've seen it. Tamara Judge and the Real Housewives of Orange County is a prime example of that. She's the best. And they took her away because fans were like, no, we don't want her anymore. And then the show turned to shit and they brought her back. And now they hate her again. I don't. She's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Anyways, you ready to get into it?
Let's get into it. Starting with, can you buy me a $6,000 watch? Better yet, a matching watch. We can both be twinsies.
I just bought a watch from Nordstrom Rack that was $20.
When I saw that, and at first I was laughing because I was like, oh, she bought it at the airport, ha ha ha. Because they typically have the duty-free shops. Yeah. But it's like a little knockoff something. Oh, no, it was the real Cartier store. Yeah. And she calls Whitney talking about, I'm going to get us watches. I was like, okay, thank you. Yes, cousin. Well, I thought those watches would have been $12,000. I mean, they were because she bought one for Whitney. $6,000 is not a little bit of money, but the way they were discussing it, I was like, I mean,
I guess
she's written 3 books. Her royalties are probably $500,000. She owns a
successful business. And I was thinking about that.
She's paid on the show.
I was like, she has money, Heather.
Well, it's not the fact that we dropped $6,000 on a watch on my way to Greece, just having fun.
Yeah, on your at the airport.
It's the fact that we get to tease each other about no, who had it first, no, who had this, no, you're copying me. Yeah. And I was like,
that whole argument was hilarious to me.
It was so funny, but also like I didn't get it though. What was the deal with Lisa? Was it a prior?
So how this all started, they both had, Angie and Lisa, Cartier watches. And I guess they started having an argument where who bought what first, and the whole thing, this is going to come as no surprise, Lisa accusing or insinuating that Angie is copying her, which is Lisa's MO with things of having, I had this first, this, that. So then you hear them going back and forth at the table, right? Where Angie's like, no, I bought this 10 years ago, and they brought up her Facebook picture.
Wait, I remember from the flower party, and they were going back and forth with who had a black card, who doesn't. Yeah, see, so they always do
this
that.
Is like a thing, right?
Okay.
But then Heather, who is so hilarious, is basically overhearing all this and goes, fuck, I'm going to buy myself one. And then
I'm going to say I'm copying you.
Right, and then she's like, fuck it, I'm going to also do one even better. I'm going to buy Whitney one. And so I do think in general, while it was like the most dumbest conversation, it was hilarious. But it kind of, I did get a feeling that Lisa was in on the joke of it all.
Okay.
Because it didn't seem heated until it wasn't, because then they cheers and all that kind of stuff. So it seemed like, at least in this moment, Lisa was taking the joke. I think the other thing that was really hilarious too is, while going back and forth with Angie, she's like, oh, one of my hobbies is being in the bathtub and just ordering stuff. And then Meredith loves a bathtub. She has to have her with the bath. That's like her thing. And so then Heather goes, oh, well, wait, hold on. Bathtubs are Meredith's thing, so you're going to copy her. And then Meredith chimed in. She's like, so I thought the whole thing actually didn't seem like a real argument. It was like they all knew the ridiculousness of this and made fun of it.
I didn't really get it, but I do remember when BravoCon was coming, and it was always Meredith in the bathtub. That was all of her ads. But she hasn't been in a bathtub this season, so I was like,
that's her thing. I think you heard it, and maybe I forgot where they went. They're like, oh, this one has a bathtub. Meredith needs that, or something like that.
So she just like prior episodes, she's just lounging in the bath, luxurious life. Wait, you love baths and you're a DJ? That's hilarious. She's on tour right now as a DJ. A bathtub?
Yeah, they show it.
That's amazing.
Not a real one's like pictures of her in them.
That's so funny.
I thought the opening scene was really cute with her dad and aunt. Angie's dad and aunt.
Teaching them words.
Yeah. And I was laughing so hard at Heather and Mary. They're like, what do they say? Oh, Heather asked, how do you say snooze fest in Greek? I don't think there's a word for that. And then Mary goes, how do you say shut up? And then Heather goes, how do you say piss off? Like, I don't know why, because that would be me so immature. Like, hey, how do I say fuck in Greek? You know, like I'd be that person. But I thought it was really cute to see another member of Angie's family.
Yeah.
It's like, I just love her dynamic with her. It really makes me so happy because, she has a lot of admiration for like her dad and her culture.
Which reminds me, I thought it was so tacky when Lisa says, every time you see Angie, I get a Greek lesson. And so now, hopefully once we go, I'll stop hearing about it.
I thought that was really shitty. I'm like,
have you never watched the movie Big Fat Greek Wedding? Greeks love their culture. They're obsessed with it. They talk about it all the time.
I love Greek culture, and I'm not Greek.
And it's not even a joke. Like, this is how they are. They are very over the top. Greece.
Do you like Greek food?
I do.
I love Greek food, Mediterranean food. I love Greek culture. because it's very similar to like Italian culture in a lot of ways. It's like the whole family, and we're loud and we're in your face, but we love each other. We fight hard, love hard. I relate to all that kind of stuff. So I love Greek culture, and plus I love like Greek history, like Greek mythology. I think it's all very fascinating, and like.
And
Greece.
Angie has a really good take on it. Like even when they're out to dinner, and she's like, "You guys, my parents were born here." Like she's not like, "I
really
wish I was from here. It's so amazing." Yeah. She's like, "I love my parents. This is where my parents are from. Yeah. This is my roots," and I kind of love that.
I do. I could not agree more.
I love it,
and you can tell, like even in her voice, like it really means something to her. But I get it. She like last season, I think it was last season, or the season before, they went to wherever the Bud Light or Budweiser factory. Yeah, they toured it. And they went to like a basketball game, and she wore like all like Greek stuff because one of the players was. So I can understand a tiny bit of like if someone could maybe think it's some sort of shtick. I don't get that vibe from her.
No,
I think I can understand maybe how someone who doesn't know her or doesn't watch the show is like, why is she only wearing Greek stuff? I love that she loves her heritage and her culture. And you kind of learn now why it means so much to her.
Yeah.
Besides it just being her culture, there's a lot of deep meaning of her wanting to be like a Greek citizen and her family. So I think it's beautiful.
I mean, I'd rather see that than someone not caring.
Right, like whatever.
And everybody has their own journey, because we just learned that Bronwyn was born in Brazil. Her parents are English. Like,
I want to know more about that. Like, why?
So what if she started just like drinking tea and doing all this stuff? Like, I don't think what Angie's doing is over the top as much as like, she's fallen in love with the culture. It's her culture, and she's learning about it. And I think that her excitement is well placed.
Yeah, and I think it's very genuine.
Yeah, I do not like, and it'll take a whole nother episode for us to deep dive it later in the episode, where Lisa's like, "My husband is German, Russian Jew, so I'll just stick to that."
That was I remember that.
You were Mormon, and I was just like, why are you speaking?
She's all over the place.
I'm telling you, she gives Karen.
I hope not. At the same time, I hope she is very different in person, because she's a good caricature of herself on the show. Yes, but I'm like, I really hope there's a lot more depth to you in this like normal life. Though I did hear, I was watching a TikTok, a content creator. They went to some random event. I can't remember what it was for. It's for a charity. Lisa and John happened to be there. How it was presented, not in a like because they were being honored or something. They just happened to attend it.
Okay.
And she went to them and she said Lisa was the nicest.
Wow.
She was humble. She's like, yeah, let's take a picture. She was very like not the same way she's perceived in the show. So that gives me hope that she's leaning into maybe the villain character without like specifically saying, yeah, I'm the villain.
Yeah, I'm different when I'm hanging out with my friends than when I'm at work. If she sees the Real Housewives as work, or maybe she sees that as her friends, and so she's like, I do get to let loose a little bit here.
Yeah. And I'm not. I realize that as I'm older. I'm like, I think I'm the same. I'm a loudmouth.
I'm the same when I'm in a job that I enjoy. When you and I met, and I was very what is happening here? Who do I trust? What do I want to do? I can be super guarded.
I actually, you are. And now that I'm thinking about it, I really am kind of pretty the same in every situation. Mostly because I don't know how not to be. I know when to like reel it in. Like, like read a room. Like, okay, maybe this is not where I'm going to say dick jokes. But I can, you know what I mean? But otherwise, I'm kind of the same.
That's true.
Same level of sarcasm. Maybe just like different content.
You would definitely say dick jokes around everybody. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I love it. Yes. Okay. So yes, we kind of talked about it. They land in Santorini. They go to this beautiful restaurant. They're eating. They're talking about one thing about that though that was funny is in true Mary form in her confessionals, her just not understanding the big deal about
the grandma watch. I know.
Her calling a grandma watch is like, and you all are getting older. This is probably not the common. And I thought it was so funny. I also don't know if I look at Cartier as a grandma brand.
Absolutely not. And I'm sure someone winced when they heard that.
I know.
I know somebody was like,
so
ouch.
She's not getting a deal at Cartier at all.
I mean, they do have different shapes of watch face. You know what I mean? And the one they have is a little more
Did you like the watches? That other box? I kind of didn't. I'm not going to lie.
I don't wear...
I don't either. I thought they were gonna. If I remember correctly, them zooming in on it, it just seemed like a metal watch. I didn't see any diamonds or crystals or anything. I don't remember that. I just remember going, "Oh, that's."
I mean, you're paying for the brand. There probably were some diamonds, but that's not where I would spend my money, unless I was trying to rub it in someone's face.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the watch. I'd like look at mine. I'd be like, "That's fucking ugly."
I know.
Okay, so the next day comes. I feel like one of the things that Greece is often known for is like their beach resorts. Like, it's almost like, okay, you party on the beach. You say, like it seems like a lifestyle versus just like going to Mexico and staying at a beach resort. It seems like it's really part of the culture there.
Depending on where you go. Santorini, yes. There are definitely places in Greece where it's definitely like hiking. Definitely not like
I think Lindsay Lohan owned one in Athens.
So depending on where you are, but yeah, Santorini is big for the beaches and all of this stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that we see Meredith attempt to, well, I guess we learn it was like the second or third attempt. I lost track.
Oh, yeah.
When she leans over to Heather, like, okay, we need to talk one-on-one.
Heather was so uncomfortable.
And then she reveals that she tried to talk to her at the airport. We learn later in the episode as well that Meredith said, I guess she tried calling her previously. Then at the airport, she tried again. And Heather's just not interested.
Oh, I think she wants to talk to her. I don't think she wants to talk to her at the trip. And you cannot push and bully someone to talk to you. Heather will talk to you when she's ready.
Yeah.
And so if you want to talk to me and we happen to be on a trip before I'm ready, that does not move up the timeline.
So I think Heather, and she said this, Heather's big thing about talking about this whole ordeal, mostly when it seems to come to their friendship, I don't want to do this in private because I don't want her to spin it in any type of way, where Meredith wants to do the opposite. And
Does she, though? Giving a gift at the table and then saying, why are we talking about it here?
I believe Meredith Marks is a walking hypocrite. I'm so sorry, Meredith. I love the work that you do and the advocacy work. And I'm sure you may be also a very lovely person. How at least she is being portrayed this particular season in general, she's a walking hypocrite. And I'm not going to lie. And I normally am the type that thinks, okay, if these two are having a problem, they should not be talking about it in a group because it's not going to go anywhere. You have people listening and chiming in. This is a situation I'm actually agreeing with Heather that if the whole thing is Meredith cannot seem to take any responsibility for what happened on the airplane, that's very triggering for me. And that is a very shitty ass feeling. So I agree with Heather of being like, no, I wanted to be in front of people so we can all witness this because I don't want you to try to spin something that it's not.
But also, it's a very Meredith thing to say, I'm not talking about it now. Because that's what Meredith does all the time.
Totally.
But Meredith was extremely different before Lisa shows up for dinner. She was very, very different. When she was there in that brown outfit and they were actually all talking, she was a lot different. So I was like, when they were like shopping at the places, and when she got the gift
that's true.
She's very, very
which is
different.
so traditional for Housewives. I feel like when they have like an alliance with somebody or a pseudo alliance they would hate that word, but you can tell. It's often a theme in different franchises too of like, well, you act differently when so-and-so's not around. She really is like acting a little like, I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to say lighter necessarily, but she seems a little more like and
herself
engaged, maybe.
She's
I don't know.
Under the influence of Lisa when Lisa comes around.
I really do think they have shit on each other. I don't know what it is, but we see that dynamic in the episode. But I think it was funny in the when they're on the beach and Mary's talking to Bronwyn. She's like, "Move your hat."
Take that hat. Okay,
so
wait.
Give a bucket face.
Listen, you guys, I have known them 4 years almost. You've always said butterface about people, and I never knew what that was. Is that from Housewives?
No.
You've always been like, they have a butterface. I'm like, what is a butterface? You're like, just completely unremarkable, just basic. I'm like, but what's a basic face? And so in this episode, we learn square face.
Oh, I know.
Like Brittany. Round face, which is funny because Lisa or
I love what she
Mary
said. Mary
actually has a round face.
I love what she said about square face. She's like, square face is you're a dingbat.
Square face.
Direct quote.
Round face, bucket face. I was just like, Mary.
I like that she's talking to Bronwyn, and then Mary's like, "Oh, Heather, you have a bucket face too." I'm like, that was pure comedy gold.
It was really, really funny.
Okay, and then the ladies are eating lunch, and this is where, listen, we're Bronwyn fans around here, and I don't know if she's talked about this, but I was not a fan of her, at least in this conversation when Heather Angie brought it up first about her marriage.
Yes, but before we get to that, you know how we were talking about girls' trips and the group trips?
Yeah.
They never show it on Atlanta, but I do appreciate that Angie went around to everyone and told them how to dress and told them what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
I love that part, so that you don't show up in something in stilettos. And she's like, hey, we're going shopping, flat shoes, or we're going to dinner
hiking,
or whatever.
don't wear high heels.
I've never seen that on Atlanta. That's the only other series I've watched, so I can compare it.
This means that Angie's a great host.
I really like that.
She's
especially given that when this season started, they were on the RV. And so I'm just like, okay.
Well, I love that
Angie
didn't she say something about that? She's like, well, my first trip didn't really go that well. And I'm like, okay, girl, this is a huge upgrade.
Yes. So I thought that was really good. Okay. So they're at dinner and they start talking to Bronwyn.
Like, yeah, and it wasn't like serious. They're kind of being funny-ish, but genuine. Like Angie's asking about Bronwyn, getting like a guy's number. Like, are you gonna get a Greek guy's number while you're here, girl? Like, I took it as like funny. Like, girl, you're gonna get that number, girl. Like, it wasn't like you're gonna go fuck guys. And Bronwyn was very like, that's not happening. And then Heather chimes in like, well, what about that conversation we had? Talking about her whole thing with Todd, looking at like girls.
And I was waiting for it. And Meredith goes, well, I wasn't there. I
was like, screw you, bitch.
But
I'm
at
like,
least but you know what they could have done?
What?
Meredith at least could have been like, what are you talking about? When did you guys talk about it? What about this? Clearly a time when you weren't there. So I kind of like that we skipped over that part.
I going back to okay. So
but I did not get it. I didn't get it.
And Heather even said it too. She's like, I'm not being like funny when I'm saying this, but it's like, well, you had this whole conversation about possibly being, she's like, we're not open. They're like, well, we didn't say that. We are saying everything that you said to us and interpreting it. And like, you were not happy with Todd.
When she asked her, are you happy?
I was like, that was very heartfelt though.
And then she says,
she's like,
which,
but are
first
you
of all,
really?
she's not happy because she says super happy.
And then she's like, has her hand, and she's like, but are you though?
Super.
And I felt that from
with
Heather.
No
I was like,
smile, no conviction behind your voice. We're super happy. And it was just like,
it was, yeah.
And so if they were in a different setting, she would have cried. Bronwyn, I believe she would have cried, or she would have actually told her like, actually, no, but I do still want to be married. And it would have been a whole thing. So, but I have a note here. Is this why Lisa and Meredith do not discuss their marriages?
Probably.
Because I don't know how Bronwyn could have gotten out of that. Could she say, I was very hurt, we've discussed it and I'm okay? Would that have closed it? Or could she have just said, I changed my mind?
Anything. Those are fabulous options.
Mary jumps in and she's like, wait a second. Yeah. You mentioned it in front of all of us.
You cannot pretend like it didn't happen.
You can't pretend like it didn't happen, which I'm saying, even if you have a resolution, you didn't give us the update. Right. So we're still hanging on what we last heard, which I think is fair.
And I think she could have, here's the most basic, slightly irritating, but it will shut down the conversation. She could be like, I don't want to talk about this right now. Or like, we're fine. Me and him talked, but I really don't want to go into it right now.
I don't know how I felt about that because...
But how she handled it, it was very a la Meredith of like, she made it sound like, I never said anything about possibly being open or I'm not happy with Todd. He's looking at pictures of girls in lingerie on his iPad. I was like, well, hold on. Like, that was a very odd scenario. And that's why I agree with Mary when she was like, girl, you cannot pretend like we didn't have that when we 100% had that conversation.
That's the only thing that helped me out because I'm watching and I'm like, just tell them you guys got past it. But then I was like, what's the big deal? If the last time we were together as a group, we were talking about that, now we're asking about an update. We weren't asking to be petty. But then when Meredith jumps in and says, I can let you know from this group, this will not be the end of it. I've dealt with that. But you know what though? I was like, this is kind of like that. Like she's trying to just be like, I'm over it.
It was very
Meredith.
Thing.
So I wonder if next episode we're going to see Meredith and Bronwyn went out, had a little lunch.
I hope she does not go to that side.
This is how things are. I don't know. I think she chose Meredith over Whitney. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them together.
That's also I'm having a hard time a little bit following because Bronwyn definitely had some remorse that she hurt Whitney. And then it shifted that she was also mad. She became mad at Whitney.
But here's it.
And
I don't think she showed remorse as much as we wanted her to.
Well,
I think what she said was, now I've burned my relationship, but I don't think they're the same. I need to see some text messages where she's like, damn, Whitney, my bad.
I'll be honest with you. All of that I think is so stupid. I'm like, okay, you had a conversation with Whitney, a very vulnerable one. Okay, great.
A great one.
After that, you go to Meredith and repeat what you said. So you actually, in my opinion, are in the wrong. You can say all you want about, I'm just trying to be a good friend, this or that. At one point, it's literally just like, it's picking and choosing what battle do I want to get myself into. Because what you talked about, Whitney, it did seem like a very vulnerable and very honest and authentic conversation.
And I think Bronwyn needs that. I hate that she burned that.
So that's why I'm like, I don't understand like why you felt the need to take that. I really don't, because if I'm just thinking about it in my own life, if I had that conversation, I know my friends, like people that I know have told me, like, can you not talk about this with anyone else or tell so-and-so, but I just want to, yeah. So I don't know if they said that. Even if you didn't, I don't see the big deal, like why you felt the need to go to Meredith. Or if you did, there was probably a way for you to kind of like sneak information. Like if you were like, okay, what really happened on this plane? You could insinuate like, hey girl, like I heard from the other women, maybe not Whitney specifically, something happened. What's
is that because she's new? Bronwyn doesn't know how to play the.
I don't, because I think she's an expert already. She's 2 seasons.
So she plays it when she wants to.
I don't know.
That was a big mess up.
I'm thrown off.
We talked about that in the episode because we were like, Bronwyn, you weren't even there. Why did you jump in?
I'm very thrown off.
She messed it up, and it kind of put her on an entirely different path now.
I was very shocked, and I'm even more surprised with her in that scene where she did not. You don't want to talk about your husband, your issues with your husband. That is totally legitimate. As a fan, I want to know, but I can, from a human standpoint, I understand. But you went about it all the wrong way. Like, again, I hate when someone tries to deny a conversation, a situation, whatever, that happened as if it didn't. That is so annoying.
Todd gave me an amazing gift. Todd paid for whatever.
Right.
Todd took me shopping and we're
materialistic over it could be, whatever. That is all better than how she handled it.
She does say, I love Todd. We're happy. Or I don't even know if she says we're happy because that's why Heather.
She said something. I think she said, I'm very happy with him or something. She said it in a very interesting way. I will tell you this, I smelt bullshit.
I do too.
Because I feel like, not that it was calculated, but it could have been a really nice vulnerable moment for the group to like rally and talk about, where she could have just simply said, I did say that and I've been going back and forth and he's home now and we're working through it. Yeah. Like that could have been a very like vulnerable but like empowering conversation for them all to like rally behind her. So it leads me to continue to wonder like what's happening behind closed doors in her marriage.
Maybe what she said in a different setting would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're okay. We're fine.
I can understand that if someone that she's not close with.
Yeah, but the entire group.
Half the group she said that in front of.
More than half.
Yeah. And then the other, it's kind of like, well, who cares?
Brittany was joking about having one of your sets, your wedding band sets. Yeah. It was a big conversation.
Again, to continue on to my prediction about her marriage, I feel like, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if a separation/divorce announcement is going to come at some point. For me, I'm looking too deep into it, but it gave like, we have problems. I need to like not go into it right now. So let me just say this, and this.
Yeah. I mean, we did Google Bronwyn, and she's worth $34 million
because
with her relationship.
Get your bag, girl. I don't care.
But you know what, though? It's not a bad thing for her to stay because she's enjoying where her marriage is, even financially or network.
Totally.
We just needed you to say something. And you saying, what are you talking about? We're fine.
That ain't the vibe.
We discussed it.
Which is so she's very open. That's why it was very, I don't know. It really rubbed me the wrong way. And I hope it doesn't last because I really love Bronwyn.
I know.
We are Bronwyn fans at Overanalyzed. That was not the move, girl.
It wasn't. But I'm going to get to the second dinner. Yeah. I really like the second dinner. Have you been on any group trips? Like 4 or 5 people?
Ish. Not like that. Like I went to Chicago with a group of friends, like things, but nothing like. I would love to.
I went to Cuba with 7 ladies.
See, that's almost like too much.
It was my first time out of the country. It was definitely too much.
How did you get to Cuba?
It was 2017 when we went.
Oh, okay.
And it was right after it opened up. Well, it's not for the first time. It wasn't because they don't have Wi-Fi. You can't use credit cards. Everything is cash. That was jarring for me.
Is there banks to get cash?
Not really, because you would have to like convert things into Cuban pesos.
I could be wrong.
The conversion rate was really different.
I think now, global society, please don't quote me on this. I feel like they have like an app or something now that people pay with.
But you don't have Wi-Fi. You would see people huddled, like 5 people huddled. They were all sharing a SIM card.
Can I use my phone?
No. They were all sharing.
How do they call each other?
Rotary phones. It's legit. Well, when the people say like, oh my God, it's like going back in time, 1950s. No, it is. But the thing is, I went with 7 people. I only knew 2 of the people. So half of the trip was me getting to know the other girls and trying to figure out who I wanted to hang out with. It was very stressful.
Interesting. So you said cash, specifically the Cuban peso, and hard foreign currencies like the US dollar or the euro.
Yeah, but you pay for a meal and it's 35 cents. And then they're giving you it back. And here's $300 worth of Cuban pesos.
So you have to bring like a lot of money with you.
No, because the conversion rate, you probably get like $100 for $3 here, but if you're used to being on your phone when you're unwinding at night, No. If you're used to going into your apartment and you can get on the TV and stream stuff, no.
Okay, this is what I was thinking of. Mm-hmm. There's these prepaid debit cards that are convertible money that are available for purchase there to use. I think that's what I was thinking. Oh, wait.
Depending on where you are.
Digital payments. For locals, digital payment apps like I can't say that word, are growing. Okay, so that's what I think what I learned recently. Like there's these like, but they're not like Apple Pay that are starting to grow that you can like, I guess.
Not in 2017. On. It was
why do you think it's still like that?
Well, I mean,
are they still under like? This is
I'm regime.
I'm like I'm very like I love like history and like global politics, all that kind of stuff.
They like to outside of everything.
So who runs Cuba?
Whoever the president is.
Is it like a Castro type guy?
It was. They just like it like that. They like that whole.
Why? What is about Cuba?
You take a car and a taxi, and they just. Plus, they're not really connected to a lot of different people because of the lack of Wi-Fi. So they're not seeing how everybody else is living.
Enjoy that aspect of like when you go to Cuba. I was turning into a Cuba conversation, but I love that the picture that I see where it is like
it looks just
like 1950s, and I love that, and that's very pure
because they didn't have import export.
Totally. And I know, like, when you start opening up those things, that's going to completely ruin that. Though I feel like they could probably make laws, right? If they truly feel that, I'm sure that there's a way that they could, like, they can have just very strict laws. Like, look, it's not like it's
hard to monitor.
It's not like it's a foreign concept. You go to, like, Italy and look at great, like, it's clear.
Even look at the buildings we have here that are historical, and they're like, you can't change too much of them.
Right.
That it seeped into everything, though.
So interesting.
It was very cool.
I would love to
very,
go
very
there,
cool.
But no, I have not.
Okay.
I would. Why, you want to plan one?
I was very much like Lisa when she took the long stroll by herself and was chilling, except that she was on a girls trip. And so I am like, my sister knows, don't invite me to your cruises. Don't invite me. Because I'm not, I'll drink with you guys one night and then the rest of it I'm not. And so
I definitely would.
Or I would have to hype myself up. Okay, 4 days girls trip. I would be by myself for an entire month.
My friends, because I'm very introverted. So my group of friends, for me, I don't have too many. You're probably like one of my only friends I have that's outside of like my small, tiny group. But you've met my friends. Mm-hmm. I can't name a single person outside of that would invite me. Like, hey, we're going on a trip. Do you want to? There's not like these.
Well, Kobe invites you, and then it's 5 people that you've never met.
But anything he would invite is a close friend of mine.
Okay.
There's very few people where it's situations where it's like, okay, like, and then like 10 people come, and it's like couples, like this knows one knows this. I don't really have that dynamic unless it was like a friend of mine and their like friends came. Yeah. To that, maybe a little bit. I can name a few people. But even then, like, I know them to a certain extent. They're like, okay, we would have fun.
Well, if someone asked me now, I would tell them no. Really? If I said, like, well, oh, who else do I know? Oh, have I ever met?
I would.
I
love it. But if we all can make an agreement, like, okay, I like an itinerary, yes. I also don't like feeling stressed, like, oh, God, it's 1 o'clock, we have to do this. Like, I want there to be, like...
He's a planned guy. And I'm like, sorry.
I need that to stay in line so that I'm not, like, staying in bed all day. But you need to give people, like... Maybe like 1 or 2 events a day kind of a thing. Not like, okay, 1 o'clock, and I need to be here for 30 minutes and at 2 o'clock.
That's how we do
like
it
that,
now.
I can't.
One day that he's planned, and then the next day we're doing nothing, and then another day that he's planned.
That's
because Thea will be like, come on, we got that 5 a.m. skydiving.
Oh, see, yeah, so no, but I also love like walking around a street and going, I want to pop in that. Like, that's how I travel. I don't want to be too like consumed with. Anyways,
okay.
So yeah, the next day, they go shopping.
Would you ever travel with full glam? Like with a glam squad?
Yeah, look at me. Of course I would.
Yeah.
I am so beautiful that no. You saw it in here. That is Lisa's MO.
But I just think
I have glam everywhere. I have glam in Morocco. You heard it. That was from a few years ago that she said that.
So Angie says, hey, we're all going to Greece. And she starts virtually interviewing people in Greece.
She has glam
to
everywhere.
Do her makeup.
Yes, that's her thing.
That's so funny.
And they showed that clip, from like 2020.
Yeah.
It was like 3 seasons ago, 2 or 3 seasons. And she says this. There's this whole scene. It's kind of ridiculous. And she's like crying because the whole thing. So that scene was when they were in Palm Springs.
Okay.
And they were to dress as drag queens because they stayed at Trixie Mattel's motel. And she didn't want to participate. And she was like, I think that's what it was. No, it was like a thing that they do their own makeup. I don't remember. And she was crying. She's like, I can't. I have glam everywhere that I go. Yeah. And then she starts listing all these countries. I'm like...
So that's why it was.
You mean like you hire a service? I know these countries. That doesn't mean that they're your glam.
Yeah, I remember she said that when they were going on the yacht. She was like, "No glam," but they didn't make a big deal out of it.
She says she does glam every single day of her life, even when she's not filming.
But
do you believe that?
Funny, yes.
Yeah, I do too.
I bet you John has probably seen her without.
What
a
the
full
fuck
face
kind
of
bill is that?
5 times.
Can you imagine? Girl, you don't live in a mansion. Well, maybe that's why, because you have to pay for your makeup bill. But what is going on here? Like, I don't believe she's worth that much fucking money. I'm sorry.
One of the celebrities
glam to walk around your house in your pajamas. Like, what the fuck? I think that is such an egregious amount of money to spend. And maybe this activist Dominic's coming out.
As she sits on the floor surrounded by Gucci boxes.
I saw it. She's talking about like Versace, all this. I'm like, that is such a gross display of wealth.
You saw her husband. He's like,
instead of paying for glam every single day, a lump sum of that could be like feeding children.
So did she say glam every day since being on the show? Or you think she's always been like that?
I think I don't know, but she didn't say it specific. She just said she does glam every day.
I believe that she does.
I do too.
I do
too. I'm like, so you want to go to Trader Joe's? You can wear glam?
But that's just it. She's not going to Trader Joe's. She's going to Wendy's to sit in the car with her husband and as they talk about stuff and eat her fries. I really do think she does. Whatever. I mean, I look like this taking Maddie to school.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Whitney falling on the way to dinner was so random. I'm glad she didn't get hurt. Yeah.
Because that's also concrete. Like, ow.
I was like, is she gonna slide down?
I know, but was it like a hill, like where she would have gone off a cliff? I thought it looked like a driveway or something. And the only one that cared was Brittany. They were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Thank you, Brittany, for helping her. She was so concerned.
I think it was mostly the way it was going, but oh my gosh. Bronwyn was walking with Meredith. I think we're going to get a behind the scenes of them hanging out because they were the first ahead. Then it was Heather, Angie, and Mary. And then it was Brittany and Whitney. So yeah, I think they're buddies. What would Bronwyn's incentive be to get close to Meredith?
I don't know, because I don't think Bronwyn Newport says Meredith Mark shouldn't return for the next season of Real Housewives. Wow. That's telling. Because that was like last week or something.
Yeah.
So that's very telling of like, and Heather's there.
Yeah.
That was like some weird show on Peacock that they're doing where it's like sports play-by-plays, but not. Like it's
but
very
on the show?
Yeah, but like also with football. It's like Sunday Night Football. And it's very, I'm not trying to understand.
Yeah.
But I thought that was very telling of like, oh, Bronwyn said that, huh? We should back up 2 seconds because I guess Meredith bought Heather a gift while they're all out shopping.
Yes.
I thought she really bought that evil eye thing. But apparently she actually just gave her a necklace.
I thought she did too, and I was kind of surprised at the way that they split up for shopping.
I know they probably did that. Producers probably did that on purpose. Like mix this shit up a little bit. Bronwyn, and then the rest of the girl. Oh, and then Lisa's lady.
And then it was Heather, Whitney, and Angie,
and Brittany.
Brittany, yes.
And
but
Angela.
I really thought that was cute. Because it's December 2025, and we just saw that those three ladies went to the cabaret show for Brittany. So it was like, it was cute to see them together.
It's quite clear. I think we're reading, and that's why I'm like, and you kind of said this too, where it's interesting to see your brain has to get used to, okay, this was several months ago. Mm-hmm. But then you're on social media. Like I said, I showed you that clip of Bronwyn. It's quite clear. You can start piecing together, okay, where are the alliances? Like, who's still together? So it's quite clear that's still a group.
Yeah.
I don't know where Bronwyn, though, lies in all this. Because she wasn't at Brittany's show, which is not surprising. She's not really friends with Brittany.
Or she wasn't on stage.
True. Oh, wait, was she in the audience? She might have been. I don't know that for a fact.
We know why Mary wasn't there.
Right. But I love that. I don't know why it captivated me so much. Because I think the scenery in general is beautiful.
Yeah.
Clearly, the producers of the show, because they get the most stunning shots of Salt Lake City, right? So it's no surprise that they did the same thing with Greece.
Yeah.
But that little scene of them waiting for Lisa, though I hated it, kept ruining this beautiful scene with her like walking in the wind. Lisa Barlow.
First of all, you took all this time to do glam and you show up in sunglasses.
Angie said that. She's like, I'm not understanding what the fuck this is. But that little scene of those women, Angie, Brittany, Heather, and Whitney. They're just like, can you believe this? Look how beautiful.
And it was gorgeous.
And Heather starts crying. I was on my couch watching it this morning. I started getting teary-eyed too. And I was like, why is this hitting me in this way? I listened to Heather's interview on Las Culturistas. And I'm understanding Heather in a whole different light. And I'm a fan of hers, of what these moments really do mean to her, of feeling really suppressed and never, she, like her being an adult outside of the Mormon church. She really has acknowledged that she's missed out on a lot. Is making up for lost time by just living life as a independent, strong woman. She's raised her kids, and she gets to live these amazing moments, and it does not get lost upon her.
Yeah.
And that is something I love about Heather Gay that I wish people would understand, even her harshest critics. Like, look at her.
Somebody said, but you raised 3 kids. You can wear that. And I was like, who's the third? Are they talking about her husband?
3 kids.
Heather has 3?
Yeah, she has 3 girls.
So she has the one that's just graduated.
Yeah. Because
the
2
one
of them
that's
are
at Miami.
One's going to Tampa.
And a third, I guess we haven't seen.
is the I think
I
the oldest. Yeah, lives in New York City. I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
And she has 3 kids.
Wow.
So I love this about Heather. So I thought that was a good scene, panning to Lisa walking in the wind. And so,
in my notes, I have that Heather is the coolest, but also she's the silliest. Like when she's pretending to be
so silly
with the champagne. But I also feel like she's like mature and just fun. Like she's playful in a really good way.
Do you think I'm just thinking about this because I talk about Heather Gay a lot lately. Mm-hmm. She has her show, right? Her docuseries, which is I highly suggest it.
3 books.
3 books. Her docuseries that's very different for Bravo, so it's a big deal that they did any of this or Peacock, all the whole thing. I'm going back to that conversation that Lisa and Heather had, I think episode 2.
Okay.
When she was like, I live a different life than you all. Do you think this bothers Lisa that Heather's getting this, like, she's clearly propped up to be kind of the narrator of the show. Mm-hmm. And now she has kind of these deals. She's on this Peacock show. She's going to be on Love Hotel next season. She has was it Surviving Mormonism? I think it's called. Do you think she's jealous?
No, because Lisa
she would never admit it. But do you think she's like, fuck her? Why does she get all these deals? And I'm supposed to, like, I have this fan base and I got Wendy's. Why are they not doing more for me? Do you think she feels that way at all?
No, because Lisa does not think about anyone else's.
I think that's why we start. Well,
I mean, look at it like this. Heather gets to buy Cartier watches and pick with Lisa because you can't compete with my 3 books, because you can't compete with my docuseries.
Or the Porsches.
I'm helping make you relevant. I don't think so. I think a regular person, Meredith, might. Oh, dang. Wow. I'm really not the star anymore. I don't think Lisa has any clue. I think Lisa.
I don't know. I think she might. I think that's why we see tension with her sometimes that doesn't always make the most sense. Like you see at this dinner, like, I think there's animosity. And I think maybe perhaps it's because the network really invests into Heather.
But I know that Lisa has no one around her that would say that to her. And I do not see her taking time out for herself to think that.
I think she's smart enough to know behind closed doors when she takes a shower by herself. I think she goes, motherfucker. Which, in my brain, if that was all true, if that is important to you, this is a very simple thing to turn around. And that is, you just have to be not so close-minded and not so self-fucking-centered. The reason why Heather is propped up and it resonates for the most part, it's because she's very vulnerable about, like, I grew up this way. I thought I was doing everything right by my faith. It turns out it was all a lie. And now you're seeing this very vulnerable journey. I'm vulnerable about saying, I don't feel like when I was brought into this show on season 1 with all you ladies, I was in the same playing field as you all are.
She's vulnerable about saying, I enjoy being a mom, but I also can't wait to have an empty house.
Exactly. Whether it's reality TV or not, personal relationships, it doesn't matter. Vulnerability is a huge act of bravery, in my opinion, because it's quite clear that not everyone can be vulnerable and say their true, like, story and the true feelings and their experiences. But when you do, it really transcends.
It does. But I also think that you are a nice person and you really want Lisa
to own something,
to be objective about
anything
in her life, and I really just don't think it's
think you're probably right.
It's a lot of hard work to sit back and be like, was I an asshole today? Did this make sense? Does that align with my life? I really don't think she gives it any time because she lives a very different life than these girls.
Shut up.
That's what she said. All right, let's talk about this dinner.
Okay, this
Whitney
explosive. Well, okay, let's start with it. So
let's start with
Meredith's so funny because she's like, y'all gonna talk. Oh yeah, she leaves her the gift. It looks like a pretty necklace.
So wait, I'm sorry. How did Lisa find them? Just because follow the cameraman?
Yeah, they probably they're here. Go there.
I was kind of surprised. Like,
you know all that
she's
stuff.
She's like, I've been walking. Angie did not talk about it, or at least she didn't make it a big deal here. But I know she's gonna be like, you saw the sunset. You were out for all this time without us on my trip. Like, you intentionally were not with all of us.
I will say this. I think that's very annoying that you were given a time, you didn't show up on time. That is.
And then you're bragging and showing me pictures of, no, I was here. Just not with y'all.
However.
Yeah.
In the scope of Lisa Barlow, I did kind of love this for her because it showed some humanity in her. She's like, I actually kind of like being by myself for a minute, like taking it all in.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, if anything, it wasn't like she just walked in like, fuck this, fuck that, I'll do whatever I want.
Which we've seen,
Right. I did enjoy that she did say at least, it was kind of nice being by myself, walking up the street, because I do believe that, because I would have loved a moment like that.
Well, go to Greece by yourself.
I know, I'm not excusing it, but I think if there's a way to do all this, like you're going to be intentionally late, At least I hope you did enjoy your fucking walk.
Plus, Angie mentions, why do you got on the sunglasses? And then she's like, oh, well, I just saw the sunset and this and that.
And I'm like, yeah, it's dark now, girl. But yeah, so they get to the dinner. Meredith gives Heather a necklace as a peace offering. Even Heather leans over to Bronwyn. She's like, I think this is a peace offering. She's like, it is.
I thought she was trying to buy her off. What did you think about Mary talking to Meredith in the shops? Like, why are you guys going to talk about it? Is there an issue?
Yep.
Mary does a good job of saying just enough without being like,
without getting mad at
everything
Mary.
that Heather told her.
And without like the fans, if you want to call it Switzerland, whatever you want to say, peacemaker, moderator, she does a fantastic role. To your point, you said it well. Like, she doesn't say too much where it's like, clearly Mary's on team such and such. It's being very diplomatic. How are we going to iron out some of these wrinkles here?
Bronwyn can learn from her. Because Bronwyn would have been like, Heather was just in my room.
Oh,
and she said, just buy her a gift.
100%.
So Mary did a very good job with that.
Mary did a
I've
very
never
good job.
seen her do that.
I think it's like that. The church lady.
It was a good way of moving things along.
Yes,
I liked it.
She's fantastic.
And you can almost see it on Meredith's face where she's like, why do you know? But it was very well played.
So she says that.
So Meredith makes this big show putting this big box down on the table.
Stupid. I do agree. She's trying to buy off. But it leads to the bigger
Heather should have been like, is this a Cartier?
That would have been funny. Basically, the whole gist of it is, and I'm just going to be full disclosure, I am Team Heather in all of this. I know everyone must be so shocked. I understand the argument. And I think it is outside of the airplane of it all. Heather saying, I've been friends with you, I think she said 20 years, a very long time. I ride for you. I have stuck up for you. I know you. For you to call me a liar is a character assassination, as if I'm sitting here making up something for blank reason, and you're sitting across from me just denying it.
Yeah.
I totally agree with her. And she's claiming, I didn't say that. Here we go with something else.
This is from the Spill the Tea Party.
She called Heather a liar.
Yeah.
I can't remember specifically. It makes me want to watch if she said, you are a liar or you lied. But she said that word talking to Heather. And hypothetically, say she didn't say the exact word, the insinuation is you are lying. Because I remember
that's when Heather got really upset and she's like, don't try to say this didn't happen.
Meredith denies ever calling her a liar, and Heather says she absolutely did. And then Lisa chimes in, and I have to say this was kind of funny to me. I'm so sorry. Backing up Meredith, because surprise, but Lisa's saying to Heather, you treat people differently who basically, A, why are you the judge and jury? And B, you have a tendency to hold everyone else accountable. I think she's implying that as if she doesn't. So I don't see that. And both
of those are valid.
But sure. And you know what? I will say, well said. If that's how you truly feel, you're articulating yourself very well. But I kind of laughed.
When she started crying.
She's like, it was so that dinner you called me, and they showed. I was like, what did she say to Heather? And Heather just said, well, I think they both said to her, stop being a bitch. She's like, you're being a bitch.
That is the definition of being a narcissist and taking all the attention.
But telling how funny, and then Heather, again, empathetic. Heather's like, okay, if that really, I am so sorry. And then she just immediately goes, thank you so much, because that really hurt me. And I laughed so hard.
They keep showing her eyes. It's like she's looking at Meredith like, let me distract.
Let me distract. I just thought it was so funny because it was so bullshit.
I would have walked out.
Because hypothetically, so you're
really
entertained
by the bullshit. I was just like, this bitch.
Well, because I'm like, wow, my friends say a lot worse to me in a lot heater situations, and I don't go, oh, thank you for you called me a bit. Like,
so
shut
for one,
up.
I felt like this is absolutely ridiculous. But then for two, I'm like, Kyla,
it is ridiculous.
Have some empathy if she's being real. But then I'm like, there's no way she's being real. Lisa goes from hard-backed, super piney, I can handle everything with all my armor, to a cuddly teddy bear in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like the tears have to be waterworks.
Yeah.
I don't care. There was no part of that.
I agree with
I don't even think she grabbed a tissue. I think she wanted you to see her crying. Whitney was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to...
You saw real tears in her eyes, though.
I just think...
I didn't see tears.
I do not trust her.
Lisa? I don't either.
I wish I was, because I had to check myself. I was like, Kyla, are you being a bitch? Are you not being empathetic? And I was like, I just think they're crocodile tears.
Yeah. And then going back to Meredith and Heather trying to hash it out, they solidify Heather does not want to talk privately to Meredith, and Meredith does not want to talk open with her. So I don't know where they go with all this.
But that's not true, though, because don't give me this grand gesture of a gift at the table to then say, I called you.
Good point. I didn't think about that.
I called you.
What do you think? That doesn't open up a conversation? She gave her that back
at the house.
Or like that's like, girl, can I talk to you for a second? Or like...
What you did on the bus.
Or it could have been something like that. Or just say, like, hey, we don't got to go into it right now. I got this for you. I hope maybe we can, whatever. So yeah, you putting a gift on someone's plate that you are an adversary to, right, at this moment. You think, oh my God, thank you. I'm going to wear it right now. And then it'll just, poof, it's gone. Like,
I think Heather doesn't want to talk about it there because she doesn't want to mess up the trip.
That's a good point.
Well, actually, so if Meredith didn't give her the gift right then, do Bronwyn or Mary say, hey, Meredith, don't you have something in your bag?
I don't think Mary would have. I think Bronwyn would have. Mary could read I don't see her. She doesn't meddle.
Yeah, okay.
Because that would be messy. If she did, just because Mary's, like as we talked about, is fantastic at this, she would definitely set it up in a way that we wouldn't be saying all of this.
Kind of
Bronwyn would. She would be messy about it. She's like, well,
girl, wait, necklace.
What's in your bag again? Like, think you have some, and then
But Meredith bought that for her while she was out shopping with Bronwyn.
I love
Mary.
gifts.
I think if Lisa was there, she'd be like, what are you doing?
I agree.
You don't owe her a gift.
I agree. And I love gifts, but this is a situation where I'm like, that doesn't erase anything for me.
It doesn't, but it also highlighted to me that I think Todd gave Bronwyn something big to be like, this is working. I'll be more discreet in the future. What do you want?
You just said Todd. I forgot about this. Going back up to when they were all like individually packing for their trip, and she's like in her room packing with Todd. I think she was talking like Greek language, paraphrasing. Yeah. But she was emphasizing how, well, at least Angie knows the language. And Todd said something, it was kind of funny. He was like, yeah, well, she might just say lock the bitch up or something. And I thought that was actually kind of funny.
I was laughing at her shirt. It said like slut for deviled eggs.
Did it really?
Bronwyn, what is this shirt?
I love deviled. My best friend makes the best deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. I want that shirt.
Yeah,
she should sell that.
I'm sorry.
Well, she probably can't.
Well, because what I saw was eviled eggs. I was like, it has to be deviled. But I was like, that is.
I want to notice. I'm gonna look at that. And then
it's probably on one of the clothing websites.
Or she has like LTK or something. Find it. Okay, and so going back to the dinner, that all happens. And then Whitney is watching this, is crying, and Whitney says, and I thought this was very compelling. Whitney says everyone is dancing around the real issue, and says this all started because of how Meredith treated Brittany on the plane. And then she says she doesn't understand why Meredith can't just say she messed up. Meredith asked Brittany that they moved on. Brittany still is kind of mum on this, but she did say in her confessional, she's like, well, she also owes everyone an apology on that plane. I was like, clock it. And then
because Whitney's like, all of my friends are arguing because of you.
Yes.
You put all this in motion.
And I love how she ended it. She said, Whitney says about Meredith, she goes, I'm not saying you have a problem, but you are the problem right now. And I thought, like, I just chills when I said that, because I think that sums up perfectly of, okay, no one is here, you can, whatever, is saying that you have, even though Whitney said all those, attacking words, whatever, that wasn't the nicest, but whatever. No one is essentially saying, okay, you have a problem with substances. However, you are a problem right now. And this is an ongoing thing because you are at the center of it, and you're giving no one an ounce of anything.
Even acknowledgement.
Right. You're just saying everyone lied, didn't happen. And I'm like, I'm really over it. And then she gets up and walks away because that's what she does, and Lisa follows.
So I was upset about the way it ended. I was so upset I couldn't watch the clips for the next episode.
I did.
Because I was like, I just know that Meredith and Lisa are going to go spin this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I was Lisa, how quickly your tears have dried.
Yeah. And the episode, I should say, to that point that you just said, is Heather's really upset. And she says, well, now I'll be painted as the problem.
You've been painted as the problem.
Well, now even more. And that they are going to now rewrite this narrative. And Mary tells her that she did a good job. She said everything that she could. She's done everything that she could. And Heather admits that she feels worse after the dinner. It says she values friendship above all. And this made her realize her place in the rank of importance.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very compelling.
I did.
And that made me really sad for her because of everything that and maybe it's because I'm seeing this now again. I'm doing the definition of our podcast, overanalyzing it. But like, I listen to all these interviews that they all do because I'm fascinated by them. And again, I've said this now for this being the second episode of me understanding through Heather's words, like her life experience and how like she internalizes different emotions and how she expresses herself and the things that she's been through, which we're all stories and products of our environment and our pasts. And I can see when she said that, knowing kind of like how she has felt when she started the show, everything like that, I really felt that of like, this has now validated how I feel, my importance to these women, my rank, they made it abundantly clear and validated how exactly I feel, which is obviously not high.
And I think Angie mentions that too when Lisa's still getting glam, and she's like, "You're prioritizing that, hanging out with your friends."
Exactly.
So it's one thing to notice it, but now you have to move like
Yeah.
this is how she's prioritizing
100%.
stuff. And so let's see what happens. So they're still in Greece next episode.
Yeah, sure are.
Okay.
So I did watch the previews. They have a lot of fun, but there is another dinner. Whitney, Meredith. I mean, it all comes out all over again. We're going to see more, but there's more from Greece.
I thought it was fascinating when Heather says, "Oh no, get as much filler as you want." And Angie's talking about her under eye.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah, I have that written down. That she basically had eye bag removal surgery, which I low-key have always wanted. You had
it a while ago because she's looked great this whole season.
So I got them too. I'm like, oh my God, you can do that?
We actually just have, like, this is just part of, like, I don't even think it's when I'm tired. This is just, my eyes look like that. Because they don't get darker.
I guess I don't really feel fat.
Yeah.
Because she was saying that they, like, take that.
Because some people, I think this might actually be fat because it's not even exhaustion. Because I put on the eye mask and then I look exactly the same after. It's just the way my eyes are.
But I'll tell you that when I'm tired, you see that shit. Yeah. I'm like, isn't that just mean it's swollen?
Well, but when I sweat, like if I cry before I go to sleep, my top eye puffs.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So, well, you guys, thank you for overanalyzing.
Thank you. Stay tuned for more content about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
I know, and the reunion.
Our girls, we love them.
Oh, all right, you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
I went with 7 girls. I only.
This is fascinating. Go on, listen. How do you spell Bronwyn?
BRONWYN.
Who are all these girls?
No, who are those people? Oh, that's.
I like how the episode. Yeah, I'm eating candy, so excuse me.